Hi friends, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can create a desk planner or a daily desk planner for 2025. So it's just a regular planner like you see here, a chunky one, and then here on the back you can prop it up like this, so it becomes a standing desk planner like you see here. When you open up the cover, it goes to a calendar for 2025, and then it continues with all the daily pages of 2025. So here you see February 9th, and then on the back side February 10th, and then February 11th. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can design the internal inserts, how you can add in the dates and then automatically duplicate it for the entire year. I'm going to show you how you can export and download the cover page, and then how you can assemble everything into a finished planner like you see here. So let's get started. So first open up planifypro.com, and then best to open it up in Firefox in a new private mode window. If you are on an iPad, best to run it in Safari in a new private mode window as well. Now first things first, this specific planner already exists, so I already have created the file for you. You can also simply go here to search for a planner, then type in desk planner 2025, and it should show up right here. You can click on it, and then to export you want to select the following. So first click on open so you can open it up, and then to export you want to click right here. You want to go to save export, export all pages, select either size. If you're printing out on A4, select A4. If it's on US letter, select US letter. Rearrange pages, and then you want to click on batch generate PDF. Once you have the PDF file, you then want to print it out front and back. If you're unsure about the printing, please forward this video to the point where I explain how to print out the inserts. However, for this tutorial, I'm going to go step by step and show you how I created this daily planner right here. I'm going to show you how you can insert the widgets, how you can insert the date flag in many different languages such as Spanish, Portuguese, English, or any other language, and how you can automatically duplicate this planner for the entire year. So I highly recommend you to follow along with this tutorial so you can learn the program, and then you can also further customize it, make it the way you like to fit your personal style. So once you're logged in, please click here on create a new planner. Click on create a new planner, and then you want to go first things first to the size menu, and you want to look for the sizing called A6 landscape. This planner is created in the A6 landscape size. So right here click on A6 landscape, and it should now look like this. So let's go straight to recreating the daily inserts. If we check out the layout right here, we see this layout has 1, 2, 3 columns, and it has 1, 2, or maybe even 3 rows. So what we're going to do now is click here on Edit Layout and set it to On. When you set the Edit Layout to On, this means you can click anywhere on the planner and you can add in additional widgets, rows, or columns. What I mean by that is when you, for example, here click on a widget, you'll have these 4 buttons right here. You can click on the plus button here to insert one above. So this will add you a row above here. You can click on a widget and insert a row down here below by clicking here. Now, in each row or column where you don't see any widget boxes, you can click here on the spacing and click on Add. When you click on Add, it will add you a new widget box. You can here, for example, because here there are 2 columns, you can either have 2 widget boxes side by side like this, or you can click on the first one and extend it throughout the entire column, throughout the entire row by clicking here on this arrow like this. So this will extend it. So this is how you would customize and edit the layout. Then here on the sides, you always see how many columns and how many rows you currently have. Let's say you want to make the first column up here, this box, bigger. You want to click here on this fraction, and then you want to increase the size like this. If you, for example, want to make this column right here bigger, you want to click here and increase it or make it smaller like this. Then, for example, let's say you want to make this middle row right here exactly 1.5 inches. You want to click on it, you want to type in 1.5, and you want to select inches. Now, whatever you do up here or below down here, that 1.5 inches will always stay and remain the same. This column right here will not change. Okay, so let's jump back to recreating the daily insert. What we need now is, first of all, let's add in 3 columns. Let me quickly copy paste the right side to the left side so we have 2 equal pages by clicking right here. Okay, now let's click on a widget box and let's add in a column next to it by clicking on this plus button. Click on add. Now we have 3 columns. Now let's also click here on the plus button down here below to add a row below it like this. Now in this widget right here, we're going to add in a calendar like this. In the next one, we're going to add in a dated widget like this. And then in here, we're going to add in a daily widget like this. Now, let's click on this daily schedule widget and then let's bring it down all the way like this. In here, in this blank space, let's add in a new widget box. And in here, we're going to add in a to-do list. Okay? Then for the last one right here, add in a widget box. And in here, let's go to Notes, Blank. And in here, we have now a blank widget box. So now we have all the widgets in place that is needed for this insert. So all widgets are in here. We now just need to make certain rows and columns bigger or smaller. So let's make this one smaller. Let's maybe set it to around 0.5 fractions and the rest looks fine. However, if we now check right here, you see that this to-do list here in the middle somehow goes higher than the blank widget here on the side. So somehow we need to find a way to make this to-do list go up, but for the blank widget to remain the same height. This is how you could achieve it. So you could click here on the to-do list and then add in a row right here. Okay, so now you can click again on this to-do list and you can bring it up like this. Then here we can click on the calendar and bring it down like this. So now we have something that looks like this. We already have the uneven widget. We just need to make this one here in the middle smaller, as well as this spacing up here smaller as well. This looks good. So now you see that we have the blank widget and the to-do list which are in a different height. This is how you would do it, basically adding in a new row within these 2 widgets and extending one widget, one of them, into the next row. So now that we have all the widgets in place, we can further customize the widgets, change the styling, change the color, and change the font. Let's maybe first go on to editing all the widgets correctly, and then we can move on to the aesthetic. Let's click here on the monthly calendar, and let's first click here and select January 2025. If you're watching in 2026, feel free to change it to 2026 or whichever year you want to create the planner in. Okay, then next here you see there is a language selection for your calendar. If you speak Spanish, please select the Spanish calendar. If you speak Russian, you can select Russian. If you speak Swedish, click on Swedish. We also have Greek and Arabic and Chinese. However, please keep in mind that when you select a language other than English or Spanish, if it's a language which has different characters such as Arabic, Chinese, or Japanese, you will then need to select a font that is compatible with this language. I will show you later on how you can select the correct font for your language. Back to this calendar. Select the correct month, select your language, and then once you have it selected, let me quickly change it back to English. Once you have the calendar in place, let's also check out the numbers right here. You see they are aligned to the upper left corner. You can also add the numbers into the middle of the widget. So if you go here to the right side in this menu, there is something called under day start, you will find something called numerical date position. Here you can click and set it to center like this. So now it's in the center. Then next, let's move on to this widget right here. We can just leave this widget right here, but I will remove the header for now like this. This would just remove the header you had up here. Then for the to-do list, I like how many rows it currently has. It has 11 rows. It doesn't look too big or too small. However, I'm going to change the icon to maybe a rectangle like this. Okay? Then next, about this daily schedule, I don't really like this bar here on the side. So let's go to sticker and let's set it to none. And then next, let's go here to rows and increase the rows to around 10 p.m. You can have it set to the AM PM timing as well as to the 24-hour time like this. So feel free to select either one. And then for the header, let's just remove the text like this for now. Let's also remove the text here for the to-do list. Okay, now last thing is to correctly set this date flag right here. So it's not clickable. If I now click on it, nothing happens. What we'll have to do is we'll have to click here on Edit Layout and set it to off. When you set it to off, you can then click here, and then this menu will show up where you can then select the correct date as well as further edit the date flag. So let's first things first set it to start in January or December. I want it to start on a Monday. So let's see, the first Monday in January is Monday 6th. So I think it's better to maybe either start it on a Wednesday or maybe even go back in time and have it start on December 2024 on a Monday 30th like this. So I will choose this one right here. Then also regarding the language, right now it's English. If you want to make it Spanish, click here and set it to Spanish like this. If you want it to set to Portuguese, have Portuguese selected like this. So feel free to choose any language you like. I'll go back to English like this. Then here under styling, you have different ways of displaying the date flag. You can either have it here with a moon phase, you can have it like this, or you can have it just the date and the moon. So there are different kinds of ways you can display the date flag. However, I'm going to go back with this one right here, either this one or this one. I think I'll stick to this one here. So now that everything is in place, let's move on to the style and the color. So let's go first to style right here. And I'm going to go with the original thin style. Now the styling is for showing the way a widget looks like. If you want bold lines around a widget, go with something called original or jovial. If you just prefer the minimal style, you can also go with classic, classic 3, classic 4, or you can also go to the minimal style and then maybe just choose this minimal style right here, which only has a header but no outline. So feel free to play around with the styling and see which one you like. However, I'm going to go back to neutral and then go with original thin like this. Now next, let's go to the color. Click on color. You have 3 colors right here. You have the outline, the header, and the line color. When you change the outline color, it changes the color of every outline in a widget. As you see here, it's changing the color of all the outlines. I'm going to stick with black, just choosing a simple black color. Then next for the header color, you can click here to change the color of the header. You can also change here, select any color you like and then see what you like. I'm going to go with this pink color right here. I believe it was this one here, or maybe even this one right here. Okay, so feel free to pick any color you like. And then for the line color, which is the color of the lines within a widget, Let's maybe just select a simple gray. However, you can select any color you like. You can make it darker, lighter, red, green, whatever color you like. I prefer to have it more minimal or neutral in this gray color here. Then let's quickly check out the lines we have here. So sometimes widgets can have a bottom line where you can remove it or keep it. So for this widget here, which already has an outline, it makes sense to hide this last line. However, if you, for example, have a styling that is minimal like this, it might make sense to keep the bottom line like this. So it's up to you if you want to have the bottom line of every widget or if you want to remove it. I'm going to go back here to Style, select the original thin style, and I'm going to remove this last bottom line. Click here on Hide. Then for the to-do list, you see here there is a line as well, this gray line right here. So I'm going to click on the widget and then also here click on remove the last line or hide it like this, as well as for the schedule. So let's click on it and let's hide it as well. Now I believe we will have to do it for this blank widget as well. It has double lines here, so let's click on it and hide the last line like this. One last thing I would like to do is I would like to change the color of the icons. I would like to make them black. So I'm just clicking here on this to-do list and then here where the icons are, just clicking here on the black color. Like this looks nice. Last thing, almost last thing, let's also change the font. Now, a planner can have 3 different kinds of fonts. Can have a header, so under H1, if you click here on both and click to add a header, it's this header title up here. This one, you change the font here under main font. However, we don't have any H1 headers in this planner, so let's deactivate it like this. Now let's go to the H2 font. Now H2 font is the font of every widget. So any font or any text you see in a widget is H2. H3 font is anything you additionally add into the widget through the text editor. So if you were to click on a widget and type anything in here like this or like this, this would be considered H3 font. So anything you add in it is H3. So let me quickly remove this text right here and here and here. Now usually for the date flag it automatically pulls the H2 font. So usually if you want to keep everything the same font, you just need to here go and change only the H2 font. So let's click here on text menu, H2, go to regular, and now let's choose a new font. I'm going to go with maybe this font right here, which is the breakfast font. Now quickly back to the languages. Let's say, for example, you have selected an Arabic font. You want to select a font that is compatible with the Arabic language. So you will go here and type in Arabic. And now here are all the fonts that are compatible with the Arabic language. So please, if you're making the planner in Arabic, so for example here, if this is set to Arabic like this, for example, please choose a font that is compatible with Arabic, okay? As well as for Chinese, if you make it in Chinese, please choose a font that is compatible with Chinese. We have a few here which would be compatible. The font of your language is not in here. You can also go to My Fonts and then you can also upload your own font into the system. However, I usually recommend you to use the fonts we already have available to just have it perform the best with the least issues. So this was regarding the font. I'm now going to set this one back to English up here. And under H2, I'm going to go back and check, see where my font is. I'm going to go with the breakfast menu font. All right, so this planner is now completed. One last thing, sorry, here the schedule. in the menu, you can scroll down and you can make or increase the increments like this. So I'm going to remove the increments and I will make the first column smaller like this. Okay, so now my planner is completed. If you want, you can go back to Edit Layout. You can further edit them, maybe make the first column bigger or smaller, further adjust it the way you want it to be. And then next, we can copy-paste the left side to the right side. So click here on left to right. Now we have 2 pages. Here, here you want to click back to Edit Layout, set it to off, so you can click on this date flag, and now here set it to 31st. Okay, December 30th, December 31st. Now before we continue, I also wanted to show you how you can recreate this page right here, which is a calendar page. So if you check out right here, you have the calendar. So I'm quickly going to show you how you can also do this one right here. So you want to click here on duplicate or add an empty page. Add an empty page is fine, like this. Then you want to go to template, starter. Then you want to go here to yearly. And then you want to click here on the first one. Click here on the first skeleton, like this, and you will see something like this appear. Now we want to remove all these columns in here. So let's click on Edit Layout, set it to on. You want to click on this row here and remove it by clicking here. Same here, let's remove this one, like this. Other side as well, click here, remove it like this, and remove it like this. Now let's quickly check the planner. 2024, this doesn't look right. Let's maybe set it to 2025. So you can either click on it and individually set it to 2025. However, here is my trick. Down here below is something called duplicate plus change date. So whenever you have a calendar, a date flag, a data page, and you click on this button, it duplicates the page once and it also changes all the dates on it. So this is what happens when you now click on duplicate change date. You click on it, it adds you a new page and it automatically changes all the dates to 2025. Then we can go back to page number 2, which was 2024, and we can delete this page like this. Okay, so this just saves a lot of time. So feel free to either do it manually or do it as I just showed you. Then here, let's maybe remove the last bottom line. You see here, there is another double line. I'm just going here and then click on hide, as well as for this one. This is a quick one. I can just click and hide it, the bottom line like this. Going to repeat the same on the other side. Hiding the last line like this. Okay, then lastly, what's left is 2021. Let's change it to 2025. And here as well on the other side, 2025. And let's quickly go to H1, main font, and I'm going to choose a different font right here. Maybe I'm going to go with maybe this font here or any font you like. Choose any font you like. So now this page is completed as well. Then you also see that when you open up the planner, it starts with a cover page like this. Then it continues with the calendars. So here on the back side is the calendar on this side and this side. So let's add in the cover. Let's add a new empty page again. We want to bring this empty page to the top. So let's click on this arrow 2 times. Move it once, then move it again like this. In here, let's go to layout. Choose one box layout, and here choose one box layout as well. Then we can click here on edit layout and just to remove it like this. so we don't have to remove all 12 boxes manually. This is faster. Then here under text H1, both pages selected, title type, we can deactivate the header. We can now go to pattern and we can add in a nice pattern we want. You can also leave this page empty. This page is the very first page when you open up your planner. Here is the hardcover. You open up the hardcover. This is the very first page you see. So you want to go here, add in a pattern if you like, go to fix color. I'm going to go with this pattern right here. It's a rainbow pattern listed in the general colorful collection. It will always display it as an outline. If you want to display it fully, you go here and click on full like this. So now we have the pattern in place. Let's also add in a rectangle and a text. Up here, let's click on sticker. On the right side, under widget, let's click on button. Okay, it should add you a button here to the right side where you want to make it smaller. You want to also remove the text, or you can also type in here 2025, like this. You can make the text bigger or smaller. You can also change the text color, so maybe in a nice pinkish color would be nice, or any color you like. Then we can also again make it a tiny bit bigger. Then let's also make this rectangle white. Now when you select this rectangle here on the right side, there is something called button background color and button border color. When you set the background color here, when you, for example, type in white, it becomes white. If you, for example, under button border click or select black or type in black, then the border becomes black. However, here we would need to increase the border width like this in order to see the border. So feel free to have a border or completely remove it. I'm going to set it to 0 because I don't like the border in this planner. But feel free to do whatever you like. Then you want to place it in the middle of this right page. And I'm sorry, we don't have an alignment tool. You would somewhat manually, with your eyes, guess the middle of the planner. Sometimes it also helps to just show the right page, and then it's easier to align it in the middle, just like this. Now, to not confuse us, to have everything clean and simple, let's name this page cover so we know this is the cover page. This is where the daily page starts. This is our calendar. Let's move the calendar up. And then here, let's type in daily, so we know that here the daily pages start. Now, last thing that is left before we duplicate it for the entire year is to set the correct margins. Now, check out here. This planner right here has a small gap up here, so there is enough space for the hole punches. And this space we have right here is around 1 centimeter long. So let me quickly measure it with a ruler so I can see myself. Let me see. It's around 1.2 centimeter. Let's go back to planner. So we can then click here on layout, and here's where we can adjust all the margins. So here under top padding, you can keep clicking and this will adjust the padding here on the top. You will always see the padding in inches. However, you can also set it in millimeter like this. Before we set that it was around 1.2 centimeters, which is 12 millimeters. So we can just type in here 12 millimeters. Now this spacing here will be enough for the hole punches like you see here. So by setting it to 12 millimeters, you then will have enough space right here. Now we have one small problem. Actually, it's not a problem. We just would need to apply this spacing to the calendar page as well. So here, now that we already have the layout menu open, we can just go here to top menu and then also type in 12. And now there is enough space to hole punch it. All right, so again, we have the cover, the calendar, and then the daily. Now I'm going to show you how you can duplicate the daily page for the entire year without doing anything else. Once this is done, your planner will be finished. Down here below is a button with 3 dots. You want to click here, and you then have this menu right here. Now in this menu, you can choose how many times you want to duplicate this page. When it duplicates this page, it also automatically changes the calendar and the dates for you. So which means you can now, for example, click here or type in here how many pages you want. So a year has 365 days. Every page has 2 days, so I would say maybe let's duplicate it 182 times. Let's see what happens. 182, or you can also go with 183 like this. And then you want to just click here on Start Duplicate and Change Date. It will now change the dates for you, plus it will also add you a new page. So this also works for Spanish, Arabic, English. It works for any language we have available here. So feel free to make it in any language you like. Now to save some time, I will now stop the process and I will go straight to showing you how to export this file. So you see now we are in February. Maybe let's wait for it to finish February 1st, and then I'm going to click here and stop. However, on your end, please wait until it has completed the entire year. I'm going to stop now. Okay. So let's assume your planner is completed. You then want to go to Save Export. Then to export it, you want to go here, Export, All Pages, Paper, A4 or US Letter. And then you want to click here on Rearrange Pages. Okay. Then you want to click on Batch Generate PDF and wait for it to export. I also recommend you to save it to your collection if you haven't yet. So let's quickly wait for it to export. And then once it's exported, I'm going to show you how you can export the cover design for the hardcover right here. Let's click on Download. Here it is. So here are all the pages. Please don't worry about the blank pages here. You wouldn't have it if you have over 190 pages. This is how it should look like. You will see that it will add you 2 pages side by side like this. Now, usually we are able to export to quadruple pages, which means you can have 4 pages on one sheet of paper. However, with this A6 landscape size, it's not possible. So this is how it will look like on your end, and then you would print this one out in Adobe Acrobat Reader. You would first save this project to your computer, so you can give it a new name. For example, Daily Desk 2025. And then you want to open it up in Adobe Acrobat Reader. So let me quickly do that. Here it is. Then you want to click on Print, and now you want to print out all the pages. Now, 2 things. If you have a duplex printer which can automatically print front and back, you want to select the following option. You want to select to print out all pages. Then you want to have custom scale set to 100%, so it prints out the actual size. Then here you want to set it to flip it on the long edge for a duplex printer. Orientation should be auto. So this is how you print it out, and then you want to click on Print. If your printer cannot print out duplex, you want to go here. You want to go and click on Select All Pages, print out all. However, you want to first print out all the odd pages, print them all out, then flip the paper, reinsert into your printer, and then you print out all the even pages. Then also make sure that custom scale is always 100%. So that is how you print it out if you don't have a duplex printer. So now, while it's printing on your end, I'm going to show you how you can export and download the cover pages to then print on white glossy sticker paper for the hardcover right here. Let's go back to Planify Pro. Now, in total, you will need a sticker sheet, for the front cover. So one is for the front cover, and then you will need 2 additional sticker sheets to recreate this one right here. Now, one sticker sheet will not be long enough to fit all the pieces onto it. So you will have to print out 2 sticker sheets, and you need to place them side by side, overlap them so they create one big sticker sheet, so all your chipboards can fit on them. Okay, so let's first make this one. I'm going to show you how you can export the front cover first. What I did was I went here to page number 1, front cover, and then here I've just downloaded and re-exported this one. So I went here, export. I set it to selected page to just export this selected page right here. Then I also selected A6 landscape to export me one single page. Click on Generate PDF to quickly create the PDF file. Download it like this, click on Download PDF. Then you would print out this single one right here, down here below. You will click to save it first. So let's call this one front cover. Front cover, reopen in Adobe Acrobat Reader. Okay, here it is, 2 pages. You want to print out the second page or the page where you have this text right here. Click on Print. Then here you want to print it out at 120%. This is so that you have enough space to wrap it around the chipboard. Now, even better would be if you could have it set to 120%, so you can be very sure that it will be big enough to wrap around the entire chipboard right here. So better to have it set to 125. You can also go 130, but I think 125 is big enough, so we can wrap it around the chipboard. So print out page number 2, like this, page number 2. Print out custom scale 125. And then for the page setup, make sure that you select to print it out on white glossy sticker paper. Here on the printer, usually you can select the media. You usually can select to print on photo glossy paper, and then for the quality, also try to print it best so it prints out as vibrant as it can. So print this one out once on white glossy sticker paper. Then next, for the back cover, I'm going to show you how you can do this one right here. You want to go back to Planify Pro. I recommend you to go back to the Hub page and start a new project. You want to click here on Create a Planner. And then you want to click on Create a New Planner. And then you want to go to the Size menu. And you want to look here for A4 landscape or US letter landscape, depending on what size of sticker paper you have. So again, either A4 landscape or US letter landscape like this. I'm going to go with A4 landscape like this. Then let's click here on Edit Layout, set it to On so we can remove these widgets. We don't need them, like this. Then next, let's go to Pattern. Then next, let's go to Fix Color, and let me reselect the same pattern I had before. It was this rainbow pattern right here. Then we can set it to Full. Here it is. And then now let's print out this pattern fully, so the whole entire A4 page is covered with this pattern, and print it out twice. So let me show you. Go here to Save Export. Have the first menu selected. Click on Generate PDF. Let's quickly wait for it to generate the file. Click on Download PDF. Here it is. Save it to your computer. Let's call it Back Cover. Save it, open in Adobe Acrobat Reader. Okay, go to the printer menu, and then you want to print this one out again. Make sure white glossy sticker paper is selected as a media. Make sure it is set to print on best. You want to fully print it out on the entire page. If possible, print it out borderless with no border, but if it has a border, no problems. You can just trim off the white edges on the sticker paper. have custom scale 100% selected, print out the current page. Then you want to print this one out twice on 2 white glossy sticker paper. So print these ones twice and then you want to overlap them, and I'll show you how you can do that in the DIY section. So click on print to print them out. So now that we have the inserts and the cover design, we can now move on to assembling, putting everything together into a finished desk planner like you see here. So let's go on to the DIY part. So first you want to cut your inserts down to the A6 size. Here I'm just using a heavy duty paper cutter to help me cut the inserts. This is how it should look like, and the next you want to hole punch them. So hole punch them at the top like you see here. You want to hole punch them in this section. Then this is how it should look like once hole punched. And then next let's move on to the chipboards. In total you will need 5 pieces. 4 pieces for the back cover, so 4 pieces for this part, and then 1 piece for the front. Here you see all the measurements, so please prepare all the chipboards. Then next you want to take your sticker paper. You want to take both sticker papers and then overlap them in the middle like you see here. Then pull off the sticker paper, remove the adhesive on the back side, and you want to add in and place down your chipboards in this following order. So place them all down, and then you want to cut off all the white edges of the sticker paper you don't need. Then also trim off the corners. Once trimmed off, you then want to fold in all the sides like you see here. So fold in all the sides. Then what I did was I just took regular white sticker paper and then I measured how big it should be. I cut it to size. It can be any size you like. You can have it bigger or smaller. It just should cover the inside of your cover. And then place it like this. Then take maybe a bone folder and then you want to score all the edges like you see here. Once scored, you should have something that looks like this. So it should be like a W, like this. Then let's move on to the front cover. You want to take the other sticker sheet you have printed out, and then you want to trim off all the white edges. Then you want to take the front chipboard and you want to place it on top of the sticker. Then also trim the corners, and then also fold in all the sides. Then next you want to take some additional white sticker paper and then also place it for this one on the inside like you see here. So now the front and back cover are completed, so let's also hole punch them. You want to hole punch them like this, front cover and then the back cover. And then next let's take some wires. This wire right here is around 30 millimeters in diameter. You can use wire from 20 up to 30 millimeter. So around that range should be big enough to fit all the pages in it. This one's around 31 millimeters if I remember correctly. So you want to first place down all the insert, then the front cover and then the back cover. And then you want to cinch it all together, close the rings, and then once it's closed you can just flip the back cover to the back. And your daily desk planner is now completed. This is how it should look like. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Of course, you can also sell this exact planner, desk planner, in your shop if you have the business plan. So feel free to sell it just as it is right here or further customize it to fit your own aesthetics. But I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to always message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I will try to respond to your questions as quickly as I can. Bye!